And we're back at the green carpet, and we're going to talk to Aaron Stockberger of the FSA.
Good afternoon. As Bill said, my name is Aaron Stockberger, and I'm the director of the Fairfield County Farm Service Agency. And if you're not familiar with our agency, we're a sister agency to NRCS, who Dave works for. Basically, we administer a large majority of the farm programs that Congress writes forth about every 4 to 5 years in the farm bill that they put out. You might hear about the debate and discussion that goes on every so often, and Congress comes up with a farm bill, and basically it helps to govern farm programs that Dave administers and that I administer, and also the food stamp program and other nutrition programs are also encompassed in that farm bill. But I'm going to talk to you today about a few of the programs that can be beneficial to local producers and growers of commodities that they would sell locally, such as corn or sweet corn, other fruits and vegetables, and even hay. We administer a large number of programs, and I'm just going to concentrate on 3 of them this afternoon that could be of benefit to local growers. The first program is the non-insurable crop program. We call it the NAP program. Basically what it is it's an insurance program for any commercially produced commodity that is not covered under federal crop insurance. And in Fairfield County, the products covered under federal crop insurance are corn, soybeans, wheat, and apples. Anything else we can cover in our office. And it must be produced commercially, so we don't cover home gardens. You have to be basically selling it to a third party for us to cover it. And like I said, fruits, vegetables, and even hay are covered under this program. The coverage is catastrophic coverage. A lot of crop insurance, you can buy up to a 50 or 60, 70, 80% coverage level where you're covering basically 80 or 90% of your crop. It's 50% coverage, so you have to have a 50% loss on your production in order to receive a payment. And it has to be because of natural causes. If you forgot to spray your crop and you lost it, that wouldn't be covered, but drought, pest infestation, such as that, those would be covered losses under this program. And the cost is $250 per crop per year to a maximum of $750. So basically if you have more than 3 crops, anything over 3 crops is free, but it is $250 a crop up into the 3 crops. One of the requirements of the program is that you sign up your acres annually and certify your acres in production in our office so we can keep track in order to administer the insurance policy. The next program I'm going to talk about is a supplemental revenue insurance program, or assistance program. We call it the SURE program. Basically, it's a standing disaster program that was written into the last farm bill. The reason I mentioned this program is because one of the requirements of it is you have crop insurance on all your crops, and the NAP coverage would cover you on any fruits and vegetables or hay that you have. It would make you eligible for this program. So basically, if there is a disaster every year, then this program would cover you for the disaster, but you have to have the NAP insurance to be eligible. Providing you have the insurance, there's 2 different ways to become eligible for this disaster program. If you have a 50% loss on your farm, you would be eligible, or if Fairfield County or a surrounding county is declared a disaster county, then that would also make you eligible, providing you had a 10% loss in production on at least 1 crop. So there's 2 ways to become eligible for the program. And if you are eligible, the payment is basically 60% of whatever your guarantee is, minus whatever you produced in that year. I mean, we're talking revenue, so it's not actual bushels. It's the difference in the revenue. You would get a payment on 60% of that. The last program I'm going to talk about is the Farm Storage Facility Loan Program. And this is a very, very beneficial program, I feel, to local farmers and growers. The program has been around for a long time, but before it was only to cover basically corn, soybeans, and wheat storage. So you could build a grain bin, or you could build a flat storage building to put grain in, but other than that, no other commodities were covered. In the 2008 Farm Bill, they opened that up, so now basically anything you grow on your farm if you show a need for storage, we can loan you the money to build that grain bin or hay barn, or even cold storage for vegetables. That's something that's brand new, and I'm not sure on all the regulations on the cold storage, but I know that is available, and I know there's producers in Ohio that's taking advantage of that. And for large growers, it might not be economically feasible for a small grower, but for larger growers, it's something that's very beneficial because it allows them to keep their product longer before they have to ship it off to the market, which with fruits and vegetables is a very important aspect. Like I say, you have to produce the commodity you need storage for. You can't go out and buy the commodity and store it in the building. You have to be a producer of it. You must show need for additional storage, as I alluded to earlier, and you must show an ability to repay the loan. It's not a grant. You do have to repay the money, so you'll go through a small financial analysis with our loan officer before you're eligible for the loan. And you have to have a satisfactory credit rating. As far as the terms on the loan, it can be either a 7, 10, or 12-year loan, and the way that's stipulated is the dollar amount you would borrow. Anything up to $100,000, we can go out to 7 years. If you borrow between $100,000 and $250,000, we can go out to 10 years. Or if you go up to $500,000, we can go out to 12 years. Anything over $100,000 or $100,000 is quite a big operation. So majority of what we're seeing is under $100,000 and actually under $50,000 for most storage structures. If you get into big grain bins, that's going to run you over $50,000. But most hay barns and storage for other smaller commodities are going to run you under $50,000. So the 7-year term is what the majority of loans will be. And the interest rate is fixed for the life of the loan. It changes every month, but the month you get approved in, that'll be the interest rate for the life of your loan. And this month it is 3.125%, so that's substantially lower, I believe, than you could get at a commercial rate. That's on a 7-year loan. If you do go out to a 10 or 12-year loan, the interest rate is a few points higher, but it's still quite a bit lower than what you would find elsewhere. As far as collateral on the loan, if it's under $50,000, which is all the loans I've done, then all we take as collateral is the actual structure you build. So if you build a barn for hay and it costs you $40,000, that's all we would take as collateral. If you go over $50,000, we have to have real estate, which is a reason a lot of guys stay under the $50,000 because they don't want to put real estate up to build a building. And we can finance part of a building if it's going to cost you $100,000. We can finance $50,000 of it. We won't have to take real estate, and you can finance the other $50,000. So that is an option as well. One of the requirements is a 15% down payment on the cost of the building. You wouldn't pay us this money. Basically, you've certified us how much the building costs. We will loan you 85% of that money, and then you're required for the other 15%. And the only other fee, if it's under $50,000, is the $100 non-refundable deposit or fee for loan processing. Those are the only programs I'm going to touch on today. If you're interested in any other programs, you're free to contact me about those. But I am going to touch on our county committee elections. Basically, the county committee is a 3-member farmer-elected committee that helps to administer the farm bill programs in Fairfield County. They're actually my boss, and they're a very integral part in what we do in our office. The county, in every county, basically has an FSA office divided into either 3 or 5 sections called local administrative areas, and each section has a representative elected there's an election each year, but they're 3-year terms, so every year one LA has an election, and so you serve a 3-year term. It's a paid position, but we meet once a month for 3 or 4 hours, and they help make a lot of the decisions that go on in our office. And the 2010 election is in LAA 3, and it is in Bloom, Amanda, Hocking, Clear Creek, and Madison townships. So if you're a landowner or a producer in any of those townships, you're eligible to run for the committee, or you can nominate someone from the committee for the committee. And we do take self-nomination, so if you're interested in running, you just come into our office, fill out a form, and we can put you on the ballot. Any landowner is also eligible to vote. So we send ballots out to everyone if they own land or if they are a producer. So if you have gotten those in the mail in the past, that's what that's for, is for the county committee. The nomination period runs June 15th through August 2nd. And like I said, you can nominate yourself or someone else, and you just come into our office to fill the forms out. The actual election takes place November 5th through December 6th, and we mail those ballots out to you in the mail. That's all I have. Is there any questions about anything I talked about? I've got brochures on all the programs I talked about. There's some fact sheets over there if anybody's interested in those. And like Dave said, we are located at 831 College Avenue, which it's right beside OU Lancaster. If you drive all the way back the lane where the Agricultural Service Center, clear the back of the drive. So if there's no further questions, I'll turn it back over to the next speaker. Thank you.